Twitter shares are in the green, up just over 2.5%. The move higher coming after a Delaware judge ruled in favor of the social media company, expediting its lawsuit with Elon Musk. Alexis Keaton is here with the latest. Alexis, clearly some good news here for Twitter as it heads into its lawsuit against Musk.
Yeah, getting a little bump here on this news. Now, what the judge decided today was really important for Twitter, and that is that it can get an expedited trial on its push to force Musk to pay $44 billion for the company. So that issue not quite settled yet, but this ruling really goes to Twitter's favor more so than Musk's, because Twitter was asking for a trial within 60 days and Musk was asking to push it out to 7 months. So the judge here leaving it up to the parties to find 5 days. The trial is going to last for 5 days in October, she said. We don't know exactly what those days will be. The parties will decide. Also left up to the parties discovery to exchange information about working up the case. So we'll learn more about that in the coming days as well. So why did this ruling go to Twitter's hand here? Well, the judge applied a very well-established analysis that is used for these types of questions, and they happen all the time in Delaware's Chancery Court. One is that Twitter must bring what's called a colorful claim, and that just means that it's not bringing a frivolous claim here. So that was not much of an issue for the judge. Second is a bigger deal, whether Twitter will suffer irreparable injury if it doesn't get this fast-track trial. The judge said, yeah, we can see that there are a lot of arguments here to Twitter's point that it will be in limbo for a long time, and that, the judge said, could potentially affect a public company more so than a private one. Not to say that private companies can't have that problem too, but they said, she said, there needs to be this cloud of uncertainty removed from the company, and the longer we go out, the more risk there is for Twitter. Finally, she said that damages in this case, that's a big one, damages will not suffice, meaning there is no amount of money that can be handed over to Twitter from Musk that will satisfy the concerns they have in this case. So that means they can go forward and ask for Musk to specifically perform this contract.
Does that rule out the $1 billion that we've read so often about? No, it does not.
It does not rule out the $1 billion, particularly because the parties could still come to a settlement agreement. That's one. They could find a number that they think is right for breaking up this contract if that's what they choose. The judge could use that $1 billion as a guide if there's along the way a decision to break up the contract and Musk is no longer the owner. Definitely that was talked about, that $1 billion is somewhat of a guide here. So we don't know yet, but definitely this plays to Twitter's hand in wanting this fast-track trial. The date, presumably in October, will come before the October 24th drop-dead date that was in the contract, during which the parties could walk away if that date came to pass.